The night sky shatters as a silent explosion of pure energy rips through the fabric of the dark cosmos. We have found it. This is no longer a mere hypothesis, nor is it a distant mathematical speculation. A single, monstrous entity is unleashing a particle acceleration mechanism that completely destroys every technological boundary ever engineered by human hands. Astrophysicists have officially identified this untamable titan as Cygnus X-3, a catastrophic cosmic cannon crowned as the most powerful Super Pevatron ever recorded in the history of astrophysics. This beast defies our basic comprehension of space. This is not what we thought the universe was, and what you are about to see will redefine the word power forever. To truly comprehend the nature of this supreme cosmic powerhouse, we must point our telescopes toward a highly specific, tumultuous region within our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Deep within the rich, star-studded celestial tapestry of the northern sky lies the prominent constellation of Cygnus, the Swan. It is here, nestled inside a massive stellar nursery, shrouded by dense thickets of interstellar gas and dust, that this extreme monster is hidden. Astrophysics data indicates that this object, scientifically designated as Cygnus X-3, is situated at a distance of approximately 30,000 light-years away from Earth. When astronomers first detected its fierce, energetic footprints using advanced instrumentation, they realized they were not looking at a single, isolated star, but rather a highly complex, interconnected engine of destruction. Cygnus X-3 is officially classified as a high-mass X-ray binary system, representing one of the most violent structural pairings known to modern astronomy. The physical anatomy of Cygnus X-3 is defined by a deadly cannibalistic relationship between two extraordinarily extreme stellar components. The primary visible component of this binary system is a Wolf-Rayet star, which represents one of the hottest, most massive, and rarest evolutionary stages a star can ever achieve before its ultimate demise. This luminous giant is a volatile furnace of nuclear fusion, radiating immense heat and shedding its outer layers into the surrounding void through ferocious, high-velocity stellar winds. However, this magnificent star is not alone in the dark. It is locked in a gravitational death spiral with a compact, invisible companion. This companion is an incredibly dense remnant of a collapsed star, which current scientific data suggests is either a stellar mass black hole or a highly magnetized neutron star. This super-dense object possesses an intense gravitational field that acts as a relentless cosmic vacuum, continuously tearing apart, striping away, and consuming the outermost gaseous atmosphere of its massive Wolf-Rayet companion star. As the stolen stellar material is violently pulled toward the compact object, it does not plummet directly inside. Instead, the laws of physics force the gas to swirl around the black hole or neutron star at relativistic speeds, forming a superheated, rapidly rotating structure known as an accretion disk. Within this friction-dominated disk, temperatures skyrocket to millions of degrees, causing the spiraling matter to glow blindingly in the X-ray spectrum. This chaotic environment creates the perfect laboratory for extreme science. The overwhelming gravitational energy of the compact object, combined with the brutal kinetic energy of the incoming stellar winds, transforms this entire binary framework into a localized powerhouse. It is a persistent celestial reactor where matter is torn down to its fundamental subatomic components and converted into raw, unfiltered radiation. What makes Cygnus X-3 uniquely terrifying is the frantic clockwork rhythm of its orbital mechanics. The distance separating these two extreme objects is remarkably small, forcing them to revolve around one another at a breathtaking pace. Scientific observations have confirmed that the compact object completes a full, mad orbit around its donor star every 4.8 hours. Every 4.8 hours, like a cosmic pendulum of doom, the system undergoes a complete cycle of violent interaction. As the black hole or neutron star sweeps through the dense stellar wind of the Wolf-Rayet star during this short window, it generates powerful periodic shockwaves. These periodic encounters trigger massive, intense pulses of high-energy radiation that flare across multiple wavelengths, flashing brightly in X-rays, infrared, and ultra-high energy gamma rays. This repeating cycle acts as a powerful galactic engine, pumping immense bursts of energy into the cosmos with absolute precision. Through this rigorous structure, Cygnus X-3 exemplifies how the universe explained by modern science can produce environments far more extreme than anything found in our local solar system. It bridges the gap between traditional stellar life and the untamed physics of deep space. For decades, researchers cataloging distant galaxies noted that active galactic nuclei hosted supermassive black holes capable of extreme particle acceleration, but Cygnus X-3 proves that our own Milky Way possesses localized, compact systems that can achieve comparable levels of extreme power on a smaller scale. By studying the precise coordinates, binary composition, and rapid orbital pulse of Cygnus X-3, scientists are gaining an unprecedented look into the mechanical gears of the cosmos. It stands as a profound monument to galactic architecture, a place where a dying star and a ravenous gravity well combine to forge the ultimate subatomic cannon. This is where the monster lives, and its physical parameters are just the beginning of its terrifying resume. To truly validate the incredible status of this celestial machine, we must examine the concrete scientific evidence and the monumental technological networks designed to hunt it down. For over a century, tracing ultra-high energy particles back to their exact origins was deemed an impossible task because cosmic magnetic fields warp their interstellar trajectories. However, humanity recently engineered a state-of-the-art fortress capable of breaking this cosmic stalemate. This premier predator of subatomic particles is known as the Large High-Altitude Air Shower Observatory, or LHAASO. Situated at an extreme elevation of 4,410 meters above sea level in the frozen, rugged mountains of the Sichuan province in China, this massive technological marvel is custom-built for one singular objective: to capture and decipher the highest energy components in the known universe. Spanning an immense physical footprint equivalent to 190 football fields, LHAASO deploys a vast interconnected grid of thousands of specialized detectors. These include electromagnetic particle detectors, underground muon counters, and giant surface water Cherenkov ponds designed to capture the faint, ghostly blue light produced when cosmic particles crash into our atmosphere. The definitive breakthrough that forever altered the field of modern cosmology occurred in the year 2021. While the sprawling observatory facility was only operating at roughly half of its total planned structural capacity, its highly sensitive arrays intercepted something unprecedented. LHAASO successfully detected a single, isolated photon of extraordinary gamma-ray radiation, carrying an unimaginable energy payload of 1.4 peta-electron volts, or 1.4 quadrillion electron volts. This singular subatomic packet of light officially shattered every existing milestone of gamma-ray observation ever achieved in the history of science and space exploration. To comprehend the sheer magnitude of this monumental value, we must break down the particle physics into a standard baseline that is easily understandable for everyone. 1 electron volt is the basic kinetic energy gained by a single electron moving through an electric potential difference of 1 volt. The optical photons of visible light that our human eyes use to perceive the world carry an average energy of just 2 to 3 electron volts. The dangerous medical X-rays utilized in hospitals operate at roughly 100,000 electron volts. However, the detection of this ultra-high energy photon was only the initial phase of the investigation. The next crucial step required absolute scientific confirmation of its origin. This is where the unique properties of gamma rays became the ultimate tool for astrophysicists. Unlike standard cosmic rays, which consist of charged protons that are easily bent and deflected by interstellar magnetic fields, gamma-ray photons carry absolutely no electric charge. Because they are completely neutral, they are entirely immune to magnetic interference, meaning they travel through the dark void of space in a perfectly straight, unbendable line from the exact moment they are born until they hit a detector on Earth. By forensically mapping the precise directional path of this record-breaking photon across the sky, LHAASO scientists were able to trace the cosmic bullet straight back to its smoking gun. The straight line of sight pierced directly through the heart of the Cygnus cocoon, aligning flawlessly with the unique temporal clockwork of Cygnus X-3. Further analysis of the data sealed the validation. Scientists noticed that the high-energy gamma-ray signals exhibited a highly distinct, repeating temporal pattern that recurred exactly every 4.8 hours. This exact periodic fluctuation matched the known orbital signature of the compact black hole orbiting its massive companion star within Cygnus X-3. Because the ultra-high-energy gamma rays pulsed in perfect harmony with the binary rotation of this system, it provided the definitive proof that Cygnus X-3 was the exact source generating these impossible energy levels. This discovery marked the official confirmation of a Super Pevatron active within our own galactic backyard. It transitioned the study of astrophysics from speculative theoretical models to empirical, data-driven reality. Humanity had successfully constructed a lens capable of watching the most violent mechanics of the cosmos operate in real time, proving that our galaxy is far more energetic than we ever presumed. Imagine standing on that high mountain, realizing that a single subatomic particle has traveled 30,000 years across the void just to strike a human sensor with the force of a cosmic cannon. But a record-breaking number is just a shadow on a screen. The true terror lies in how this object creates such impossible energy. To truly understand why Cygnus X-3 earns the undisputed title of the most powerful natural engine ever identified, we must explore the rigorous subatomic mechanics that drive its operation. This investigation requires us to contrast our most advanced technological creations against the raw, unfiltered engineering of the cosmos. For decades, the pinnacle of human scientific achievement in particle acceleration has been the Large Hadron Collider, a monumental machine constructed by the finest minds of our civilization beneath the border of France and Switzerland. This immense human structure is a brilliant testament to our technical progress, utilizing a massive underground ring that measures 27 kilometers in circumference. Inside this multi-billion-dollar tunnel, human scientists deploy incredibly powerful superconducting electromagnets cooled to near absolute zero to guide and accelerate beams of protons. By pushing these tiny particles through a 27-kilometer racetrack, we can force them to reach energies measured in trillions of electron volts, or tera-electron volts. This is the absolute peak of human capability, a level of power that allows us to probe the mysterious subatomic structures governed by the laws of quantum physics. Yet, when we look at Cygnus X-3 through the lens of space theory, our greatest engineering achievement is immediately revealed to be completely primitive by comparison. While our Large Hadron Collider requires a massive infrastructure spanning 27 kilometers just to touch the threshold of tera-electron-volt energy levels, this single cosmic system effortlessly surpasses that baseline by a factor of nearly 150. Cygnus X-3 does not achieve this staggering feat within an expanse of 27 kilometers. Instead, it condenses this terrifying energy production into a highly compact, localized celestial space that is smaller than a typical human city. This binary system operates on the scale of peta-electron volts, which represents quadrillions of electron volts. This means that a single particle accelerated by this cosmic monster carries more kinetic energy than trillions of ordinary photons combined. It is an unparalleled manifestation of raw power that defies traditional human expectations, establishing Cygnus X-3 as an elite natural super accelerator that leaves our best technology completely eclipsed in the dust. To break down this science explained by astrophysics, we must analyze the specific natural mechanisms that allow Cygnus X-3 to function as such an efficient subatomic cannon. The first component of this cosmic engine involves the immense spinning black hole at the center of the system. As this super-dense gravitational sink continuously strips away and devours the outer material of its massive Wolf-Rayet companion star, an extraordinary amount of rotational and magnetic kinetic energy is generated. This extreme environment forces a small fraction of the infalling gas to be diverted away from the event horizon. Instead of being swallowed forever by the abyss, This superheated matter is corralled by intense, twisted magnetic field lines and violently ejected outward from the poles of the black hole. These narrow, focused columns of expelled material are known as relativistic plasma jets. They are propelled through the vacuum of space at blinding speeds that closely approach the absolute speed of light. These jets act as cosmic particle highways, creating a highly organized, low-density channel where individual protons can be whipped forward into extreme velocity profiles without colliding into interstellar debris. However, the creation of these high-velocity plasma jets is only the initial phase of this extreme acceleration process. The definitive escalation of energy occurs farther out from the black hole, at a dramatic boundaries known to astrophysicists as the termination shock. As the relativistic plasma jet screams outward at near light speed, it eventually collides head-on with the incredibly dense, volatile background material of the surrounding nebula and the fierce stellar winds blowing off the companion star. This violent, high-density impact creates a massive, collisionless shockwave where there is an instantaneous, radical disruption in localized density, magnetic pressure, and kinetic movement. This chaotic boundary zone effectively transforms into a natural, hyper-energetic particle crucible. When a traveling proton enters this turbulent shock front, it becomes temporarily trapped by the intense, highly disorganized magnetic fields on either side of the boundary line. This trapped state triggers a phenomenon known as diffusive shock acceleration. Rather than passing cleanly through the shock wave, the individual proton is violently bounced back and forth across the moving shock front, mirroring the motion of a tennis ball being struck repeatedly by two opposing rackets. Each time the proton is deflected across this moving barrier, it receives a massive kinetic boost, absorbing a significant fraction of the energy carrying by the shockwave itself. The proton can remain trapped within this magnetic cage for thousands of iterations, gaining immense velocity and escalating its energy profile with every single bounce. This repeating, compounding cycle continues until the particle finally gains enough raw energy to overpower the local magnetic forces confining it. Once this threshold is crossed, the proton is violently shot out into deep space like an ultra-high-energy subatomic bullet, carrying the full, terrifying payload of a peta-electron-volt scale cosmic ray. This is the exact reason why Cygnus X-3 is classified as a true hadronic accelerator, a specialized class of cosmic objects that accelerates heavy protons rather than light electrons. Because protons can endure this brutal acceleration process without shedding their energy through synchrotron radiation as quickly as electrons do, they can be pushed to these impossible, record-breaking limits. Through this elegant yet terrifying combination of relativistic plasma jets and localized termination shocks, Cygnus X-3 demonstrates that nature does not require massive, multi-kilometer rings to manipulate the fundamental building blocks of reality. It achieves absolute dominance over the subatomic world through pure gravitational and magnetic intensity. Imagine a machine the size of a city, producing energy that could power our entire civilization for 1 billion years in a single second. Could you even comprehend such scale? This is the undeniable reality of the most powerful cosmic object ever identified, an active, roaring reactor that forces us to completely rewrite our understanding of Milky Way. To truly appreciate the terrifying reality of Cygnus X-3, we must look beyond its mathematical records and examine the active, invisible influence it exerts across the vast expanse of space. This supreme cosmic machine does not operate in peaceful isolation. Instead, it functions as a relentless galactic artillery piece, continuously firing ultra-high-energy subatomic bullets outward into the dark void. This persistent bombardment floods our home galaxy, the Milky Way, with a chaotic, non-stop rain of high-energy cosmic rays that slice through the interstellar medium at near light speed. For thousands of years, these traveling protons have been radiating in every conceivable direction, creating an invisible web of energetic radiation that spans across tens of thousands of light years. This means that even though this monstrous binary system is located an immense distance away from our local solar system, our planet is constantly interacting with the subatomic fallout of its extreme power. It forces us to realize that we live in a highly volatile, connected ecosystem where a single violent object can alter the energetic background of an entire galactic arm. When we analyze this phenomenon through the objective lens of a science documentary, the sheer scale of this invisible bombardment begins to paint a deeply unsettling picture regarding the delicate balance of life and death in our universe. For decades, researchers working with organizations like NASA have sought to understand how cosmic radiation shapes the habitability of distant worlds scattered across diverse galaxies. A prominent, highly fascinating scientific hypothesis suggests that the ultra-high energy particles produced by powerful pevatrons like Cygnus X-3 may act as a primary, unpredictable driver of biological mutation on a planetary scale. When these energetic cosmic rays manage to penetrate deep into the atmosphere of a young, developing world, they carry enough raw kinetic energy to collide with organic molecules and violently fracture the complex chemical bonds of DNA strands. In small, controlled amounts, this subatomic tearing can induce random genetic mutations, effectively acting as an evolutionary catalyst that forces alien life to rapidly adapt, diversify, and evolve into entirely new biological forms. However, if a planet happens to drift too close to the unshielded path of these relativistic plasma jets, the sheer volume of incoming radiation can instantly transform from an evolutionary engine into a catastrophic extinction mechanism, stripping away atmospheric ozone layers and completely erasing entire biological ecosystems from existence. This realization sheds a dramatic light on the fragile nature of our own terrestrial existence, forcing us to confront just how vulnerable humanity truly is to the wild, untamed forces of deep space. Every single second of every single day, our planet is surviving an active cosmic assault, standing directly in the crosshairs of these ultra-high energy particles radiating from the dark core of the Cygnus constellation. The only reason our advanced civilization has been able to develop, build technology, and contemplate the cosmos is due to a highly fortunate, remarkably thin combination of natural shields. Our first line of defense is the global magnetosphere, a protective magnetic bubble generated by the churning liquid iron core deep within the interior of the Earth. This invisible magnetic shield acts as a cosmic deflector shield, caught the incoming charged protons of the cosmic ray showers and safely redirecting them toward the unpopulated polar regions. The particles that manage to slip past this magnetic barrier are immediately forced to collide with our dense, multi-layered atmosphere, triggering a rapid chain reaction of ionization known as an air shower. This atmospheric friction effectively breaks down the single lethal Pevatron bullet into millions of harmless secondary particles, protecting the biological surface of our world from instant radiation damage. Without this incredibly fragile planetary armor, the raw energy of Cygnus X-3 would turn our green sanctuary into a barren, radioactive wasteland. This delicate planetary setting becomes even more fascinating when we connect it to one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the entire history of modern cosmology. In the year 1991, a highly specialized particle detector in Utah recorded a single rogue subatomic particle that, carrying an unimaginable energy payload of 320 exa-electron volts, a value millions of times more powerful than the photons detected by LHAASO. This legendary entity, famously designated by stunned scientists as the "Oh my God" particle, possessed so much raw kinetic energy that it completely shattered the established theoretical boundaries of particle astrophysics. For over 3 decades, researchers have been locked in a fierce debate trying to identify what kind of extreme cosmic engine could possibly generate such a terrifying concentration of power in a single subatomic package. While many theoretical models suggest that these extreme particles must originate from violent active galactic nuclei outside our Milky Way, the discovery of localized super accelerators has forced a radical shift in perspective. A compelling possibility that modern researchers are considering is whether compact, hyperactive systems like Cygnus X-3 could undergo extreme, short-lived flaring events that push their acceleration capabilities far beyond their standard baseline. If Cygnus X-3 is capable of executing these violent, ultra-high energy outbursts, it could potentially represent a primary local source for these rogue, exascale anomalies that continue to baffle our finest minds. What would you feel if you saw this invisible war with your own eyes, knowing that our survival depends entirely on a fragile magnetic shield? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Am I the only one who finds it deeply unsettling that our fate is intimately linked to the violent pulses of a monster 30,000 light-years away? By examining these profound connections, we begin to see that Cygnus X-3 is not just an isolated astronomical curiosity. It is an active, influential architect of our galactic environment. It challenges our primitive understanding of natural forces, reminding us that we are small, fragile spectators living inside a vast, hyper-energetic reactor where the laws of physics are written in the language of cosmic fire. To truly grasp the monumental significance of Cygnus X-3, we must look beyond its physical dimensions and explore how its sheer existence shatters our conventional understanding of theoretical physics. This supreme cosmic machine does not merely operate at the extreme edge of nature, it actively challenges the long-established boundaries of modern astrophysics. When elite observatories like LASO confirmed the detection of a single gamma-ray photon carrying an unprecedented energy payload of 1.4 peta-electronvolts, the initial reaction within the international scientific community was utter disbelief. According to standard theoretical models based on the foundations of Albert Einstein, accelerating individual particles to such a concentrated energy level within a compact, stellar mass system should be mathematically impossible. The local magnetic field lines within a small binary framework are theoretically supposed to degrade and break down long before they can compress enough kinetic force to reach the peta-electronvolt threshold. Yet, Cygnus X-3 flatly ignores these human limitations, proving that our current formulas regarding how matter and energy interact under extreme gravitational stress are fundamentally incomplete. This realization triggers a profound sense of peak awe, forcing humanity to accept that the universe routinely executes subatomic miracles that our finest physics textbooks still claim cannot happen. This direct challenge to our understanding of reality becomes even more dramatic when we analyze the highly strange, borderline impossible survival of these ultra-high energy particles as they travel across the deep void of space. To understand why these photons should not exist by the time they reach our terrestrial detectors, we must analyze a strict cosmic speed limit established by the Greisen-Zatsepin-Kuzmin boundary, commonly referred to by cosmologists as the GZK limit. This fundamental rule of astrophysics states that the seemingly empty vacuum of the cosmos is not actually vacant. Instead, it is completely saturated with a dense, freezing background sea of ancient, low-energy photons left over from the original Big Bang. When an ultra-high energy particle, or gamma-ray photon, attempts to travel vast distances through this cosmic background, it is mathematically guaranteed to collide head-on with these low-energy microwave photons. At standard energy levels, these particles pass cleanly through one another without incident. However, when a particle carrying an extreme peta-electronvolt payload strikes this background radiation, the laws of quantum physics dictate that a violent subatomic reaction occurs, causing the high-energy photon to instantly vanish or break down into an electron-positron pair. Because of this brutal environmental mauling, ultra-high energy particles suffer severe energy degradation over extended cosmic distances, meaning they simply cannot endure a long journey through the deep interstellar void. This scientific fact carries a highly staggering implication for our understanding of the local galaxy. If these Pevatron-scale signals were originating from distant, active galactic nuclei located millions of light-years away in the deep cosmos, they would have been completely wiped out and extinguished by the GZK barrier long before ever reaching Earth. The definitive fact that LHAASO is actively capturing these pristine, unmitigated 0.4 peta-electronvolt photons right now proves beyond all doubt that their source cannot be extragalactic. This confirms that Cygnus X-3 is a highly rare precious exception operating directly inside our own galactic neighborhood, right in our cosmic backyard. It is a local oasis of impossible physics, a functional super accelerator humming with terrifying energy just 30,000 light-years away from our fragile home. When we project this hard data into the future of human development and interstellar exploration, the terrifying profile of Cygnus X-3 transitions from a distant academic curiosity into a definitive practical hurdle for the preservation of our species. In our current era, visionary aerospace organizations like SpaceX are actively working to transform humanity into a multiplanetary species, designing advanced rocket networks capable of establishing permanent civilizations on nearby worlds within our local solar system. However, if our distant descendants ever hope to expand beyond the protective borders of our local sun and execute true interstellar travel toward the distant stars of the Milky Way, they will be forced to confront the invisible wrath of this ultimate cosmic engine. The ultra-high-energy cosmic rays, continuously radiating from the termination shocks of Cygnus X-3, create a permanent, highly dangerous radiation minefield that spans across thousands of light-years. Any future human interstellar vessel traveling through the local Orion Arm would be exposed to a relentless subatomic bombardment capable of slicing through standard metallic hulls, frying quantum navigation computers, and causing fatal biological damage to human crews within days. To survive a journey into deep space, the engineers of tomorrow must completely redesign their understanding of spacecraft shielding, perhaps developing artificial global magnetic deflectors that mimic the protective magnetosphere of the Earth. By analyzing these profound structural hurdles, we are forced to reevaluate our position within the grand cosmic architecture, realizing that our current technological mastery is incredibly minuscule compared to the raw power of the cosmos. We are reminded that the universe is not a quiet, sterile laboratory built to accommodate our primitive scientific models. It is a wild, unpredictable frontier governed by extreme engines that operate entirely beyond our control. Cygnus X-3 stands as a towering testament to this reality, a glowing monument of high-energy gamma-ray fire that challenges our intelligence, rewards our curiosity, and humbles our pride all at the same time. It forces us to look up at the starry night with a renewed sense of profound wonder, knowing that the rules of reality are still being written by forces we have barely begun to understand. Cygnus X-3 isn't just an object. It's a warning written in the language of gamma rays, telling us that we are still children playing with fire in a forest of giants. To completely process the profound narrative of this grand cosmic journey, we must step back from the raw particle data and reflect upon the vast philosophical landscape that this discovery uncovers before us. Our shared journey began with a simple historical observation made over a century ago high in our planetary atmosphere, tracking a chaotic, invisible bombardment of subatomic particles that seemed to possess no clear destination or identifiable origin. For generations, humanity stared into the night sky, feeling completely exposed, yet deeply determined to solve a riddle that defied the traditional boundaries of our primitive technological networks. It was a search clouded by mystery, as the immense magnetic currents of the Milky Way repeatedly twisted and warped the interstellar pathways of these charged cosmic rays, hiding their birthplace like a ghost hiding in a thick fog. Through its relativistic plasma jets and hyper-energetic termination shocks, this single compact monster continuously pumps a relentless flood of ultra-high-energy protons across the cosmos, reshaping the subatomic background of our entire galactic arm. When we contemplate this astonishing reality, we are forced to undergo a profound internal awakening, transitioning from a state of shock and disbelief into a deeper, highly humbling appreciation for the vast scale of our universe. Standing before the terrifying, magnificent profile of Cygnus X-3, every single triumph, grand historical achievement, or petty conflict of human civilization is instantly revealed to be completely, profoundly meaningless. When we watch a single subatomic particle arrive at our planet carrying more concentrated kinetic energy than trillions of ordinary light photons combined, our pride is completely stripped away, and we are left standing naked in the dark. We are forced to look at our modern skyscrapers, our advanced economic systems, and our geopolitical boundaries, and realize that they exist at the mercy of a hyperactive galactic reactor that operates entirely independent of our existence. Humanity is not the central master of this reality. We are merely transient observers, a collection of self-aware dust particles floating on a fragile blue sanctuary, trying to decipher the complex gears of a roaring cosmic machine that was operating long before our sun was born. This deep realization should not inspire despair, but rather a profound, unified sense of universal humility. It reminds us that our local planet is an incredibly rare, precious oasis, shielded by a highly fortunate, thin combination of a planetary magnetic bubble and a dense atmosphere. We are a fragile family traveling together through a dangerous, highly energetic wilderness, and our survival depends entirely on our collective capacity to remain humble, curious, and deeply reverent toward the wild architecture of the cosmos. Yet, this staggering revelation does not mark the tragic conclusion of our scientific story. Instead, it represents the magnificent, inspiring dawn of a brand new era in the history of modern cosmology. The definitive confirmation of localized super pevatrons proves that the boundaries of our knowledge are constantly expanding, and that every breakthrough simply uncovers a deeper, more beautiful mystery waiting to be solved. By finding an active system that routinely executes subatomic miracles that our current theoretical formulas claim are mathematically impossible, the universe is actively inviting us to throw away our old assumptions and rewrite our textbooks from scratch. These new discoveries provide an incredible beacon of hope for the future of human intelligence, demonstrating that the pursuit of science is an infinite, ever-evolving journey that will never run out of frontiers to explore. This breakthrough opens up highly fascinating new pathways of theoretical inquiry, prompting researchers to wonder whether these compact, hyper-energetic reactors could provide the missing link to understanding the mysterious exascale particles that baffle our finest minds, or whether they offer a localized glimpse into the untamed physics that govern the wider multiverse. We are learning to look at the dark void not as a cold, dead vacuum, but as a living, breathing laboratory of infinite potential, where the fundamental rules of reality are constantly being tested and redefined. If you could somehow harness a mere fraction of this untamable power, how would you choose to direct it? If you could possess a single 1/1,000,000th of the total energy radiating from this spectacular object, would you deploy it to salvage the fragile ecosystems of humanity? Or would you use it as an ultimate propellant to launch our species toward the most distant, unexplored stars of the Milky Way? Please leave your detailed thoughts and profound ideas in the comments below, because I am incredibly eager to see how this cosmic revelation alters your personal perspective on our place in reality. The universe isn't broken. Our map of it is just incomplete. I'll keep exploring if there's more to uncover. Thanks for watching.